Hi, guys. I am coming on today to do something that many of you have asked me for. So I want you to know that it is the holiday season here right now. Maybe you'll watch this when it isn't the holiday season, but I am feeling joy each day and hope each day. And so I encourage you to do the same thing. And so I wanted to share with you when there's people out there who say, I hope someday I can learn how to make a floral arrangement. So I know where to put the flowers because most of you say, how do you know where things go? So I wanted to share a little bouquet today and show you where things go in a bouquet. All right. So thank you so much for coming on. I do, if you're out there, say something so I know that you're there. Oh, there we are. Hello. Hello, Charity. So it's nice to have you guys on with me. It's in the morning, and so out west and in other countries, I don't know what you're living time wise, but I just hope that whenever you watch this, that you might be inspired because you guys inspire me. All right. So I am the creator of this one stroke painting technique where I'm teaching you step by steps on a learning process so that the masses, many of you, can start painting. And we got people from Spain. Hello. So the masses can learn how to paint with this technique. And so it's multi-level. I mean, it's not multi-level. It's multi-loading of the brush. And I've created a way that step by step by step, you can build a flower and make something that you can't believe that you've done. Okay. Is that a deal? So we're using acrylic paint, and we're taking this acrylic paint and turning it into something that you will love, I think. I can watch without too much buffering. I'm sorry. I hope that everything goes well today. Hello from India. Don't you love social media? Makes it most social media is good, but the social media that makes it so that we can talk to you in all kinds of countries and to our families and see them. I love it. And with I have 29 grandbabies. I really like that I can see them this way. So thank you, thank you. Look how many from India. It must be a good time of the day for you over there. All right. So we have an amazing leader in India with my technique, and that is Kamal. Kamala is wonderful, and we love her. And so let's get going. It's cold in Texas. I know I've got a short sleeve on because I'm in Florida. And what I'm going to do is turn the camera so that we can start painting right away before people come here and take and turn around my whole day. Have you had days when you work up? All right. Do you have days when you've woken up and thought, this is going to be a good day? And then along the way, it just gets knocked down. So I want to start this with a good day, painting with you guys. My brother and them are in Maine, and they were -4 the other day. So I know some of you, it's 30 degrees where you are, Miss Barbara. It's cold in North Carolina. Well, my grandson came here from Utah, and opens the door to get out of the car each time, and he goes, "Oh, it's not cold here." So anyway, I love you guys. I need to start painting. And when I start painting, I know 20 inches of snow, crazy, crazy. That's what New York and that eastern storm, whatever they call it, is really bad. The worst, they said more snow in one night than they've had a whole season in some areas. So that's kind of crazy. Good morning. Good morning. Are y'all ready to paint with me? All right. So I'm going to use some cool paper today. All right. So this is a pad that Mark's bought me. I really like it. There's tan and gray. All right. So this is what it is called. These are tones of gray. I know that's backwards. Mixed media, gray tone paper, but it's a vellum surface. That's what you need. You don't want it to be like a watercolor paper that's dry. This is used for chalk, pastels, all kinds of stuff, but it is working for what I'm working with. 15 sheets, and it's a 9x12. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Okay. So I am going to pull out some colors and put some floating medium. This is a clear medium. This is the fluff that makes this. Thank you for thumbs up already. I'm happy to see that. All right. This is the fluff that makes the paint fluffy with no color in it. So we don't use water. So when we don't use water, it means we need luscious, wonderful paint that's not watery. See, that's thick and fluffy. And we need this when we feel like we're dry and we need some water. We're going to use a floating medium. And that dries clear. I know it looks milky there, but it is clear when it dries. Okay. And this is what the bottle used to look like. So you might have some of this. All right. So I am using multi-surface paints. So I want you to see that it has a sticker on top, usually saying glass, metal, ceramic, all kinds of surfaces. So you can go right to your wine glasses or whatever you want to paint on. And mirrors. There's lots of fun things to paint on, guys. And I'm always trying to show you some of those. Hong Kong, woohoo! Thank you for joining us, Nova Scotia, Argentina. Oh my gosh, y'all make me so happy. Kisses back to you, honey, in Argentina. Thank you, thank you. All right, so now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little bit of chalk and I'm going to decide where I want my flowers to be. All right, so if I'm going to make sure I'm straight here. There we go. I'm going to make a round arrangement. So I'm going to have a flower, a flower, a flower. And see, I have a triangle. This is just a piece of chalk. If I do a pencil, sometimes you can't see. All right, so I'm going to paint my first paintings there. And then what I usually do is do another triangle. 1, 2, 3. And as we build on this, I might can even put another one here. So it's kind of like a triangle right here and right here. Can you see that? So, but I could come right here and put another small one. So I have a definite triangle and I could put one here. Do you see 1, 2, 3? And then 1, 2, 3. So it makes multiple triangles. So it looks like I'm leaving something out over here, doesn't it? So how do you decide what goes here? 1, 2, 3. All right, does that help you? So I'm laying it out. I'm going to make these the predominant color. And I put some different colors out here. I'm going to be using my signature brushes. They're the lavender ones, and the specialty brushes in the set have flowers. So there's 13 of my most used brushes, okay? And I'm always told that my brushes should be perfectly clean, and I use them so much that I have a hard time keeping them perfectly clean. So don't judge me. You haven't tried one stroke yet? Woohoo! So every one of you, listen to me. It's very important. Guess where you go if you're watching me and you go, how in the world do I do that leaf? Go to my practice strokes. I put new ones on every Friday. They're short, sweet, and to the point. You practice those strokes with me. I show you, you can go do the loading one first. You can then go and do simple strokes, and I give you homework. So you work on that, and guess what? You will be painting one stroke so fast. But you go over it and practice until you feel good. Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you, thank you. I have my sister's Kim, my only sister. So, but I got a lot of sisters out there in my one stroke group that we're buddies. So I love having all of you in my life. God's blessed me. My mom introduced me to this. Awesome. Okay. And I'm on TikTok now, and I just hit 2.5 million on one rose and 1.5 million on another rose. And they're talking about wanting me to come face to face. But these kids think that I don't want them to think I'm a really old lady. But if they can learn from me, that's good. Okay, so I'm going to pick up magenta. So this is what we do. This is a double loader. And what you do with a double loader is I have it in green and lavender. The lavender was to match my new brushes. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to the acrylic and decide how much. Instead of doing half and half, I can do 2/3 magenta and 1/3 wicker white. Okay. So I'm going to come right here. I'm going to take these colors as I go instead of trying to say them all now and you won't remember them. So I'm going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, working it in. And I'm push hard, because, not because I want you to be fast, because I want to work the paint into your brush. All right. So in the middle, it's going to have paint. That's what makes the brush stay together when you're doing the strokes. All right. Oh, well, this is something you can remember your mom with, Barbara. I'm sorry that she's passed away. I lost my mama too. It's sad, but I still have my daddy. So I realized my mama was such the heart of the family. Okay, so I came over here and picked up Juneberry. It's such a pretty color. So I'm taking Juneberry. Are you guys in a good mood this morning? I hope I make your mood better if you're not. I waited till everybody got out of the house so I can sit here and stroke with you. So how fun is that? All right, so let's go over here. And I'm going to do my standard rows as we're laying this out. So I want you to see, I worked the Juneberry into the magenta just to give it a fun color. And I don't have pure white anymore because when I worked the Juneberry in, it got a little bit muddy there, but this muddy is not bad because it blends all the way to light. All right, so I'm going to come right here. Now watch this. This is a shell stroke, and I show you this on practice strokes. All right, it's a wave. Now, many of you were used to see my rows and we're going like this. I don't want that. I wanted a smooth wave, okay? And they overlap each other. All right. And so if you stop and stroke and stop and stroke with me and watch this over and over as you're painting, it will help you. Okay. So I'm going to pick up, sometimes I just need to pick up one color. So I pick up a little bit of white and work it in. I got to be careful because I'm going to make that white too prominent now. And Juneberry. Okay, now we're going to paint wet on wet, guys. So whichever way I want the rose to face. So I'm going to face it this way. And so I'm going to put 2 lines right there. And I'm going to go stroke up and over, up and over. Please share, subscribe, and ring the bell so it tells you when I'm going to be on, okay? I appreciate you guys being on, and I appreciate your thumbs up. And all right, so I went up and over, then I did a U, go back to these 2 lines. Tell your friends to come watch this crazy lady who paints, who's got 7 children and 29 grandbabies. They tell me that they don't want me to say that on TV or whatever. Some of the people that are promoting me. And I can't find any of any color. I see palettes, but not with the dividers. This is a double loader. This is on onestroke.com on my website, onestroke.com. And so I tell you what, lots of things I've learned how they tell me I can't say you can make money doing one stroke. Guess what? That's why I did one stroke, to save money and make money. So I just restroked over that in case I happen to mess it up, okay? My voice is very relaxing. Well, some people who just like the music say, stop talking, ma'am. Lean the white out and come across. But they do tell me when I'm filmed for the paint company, you do not have to talk all the time. But I feel like there's dead space here. And I want to become your friend. And the more I share with you how to do these strokes, and the more you learn as we paint together, I try to give you clever clues and things that are going to help you stroke. That's how you teach. So if I don't tell you, it makes it very difficult. Now, have you noticed I haven't had at all to go to the medium? It's because this is smooth paper. And I have properly loaded the brush. I've got plenty of paint on the brush, and listen to this, almost every stroke you pick up paint. All right. All right. You need to talk so we can be instructed. Yes. Does that make sense? I thought so. Okay. So now this rose is pointing this way. All right. This way. I want this rose pointing this way, maybe. And this one can point down. Wait a minute. So this went this way. I might have should have done this one out that way. All right, but it's up to you. But did you know, look, you can turn it around and this rose can be headed down. And then this rose can be headed that way and that way. Oh, that's how I'll do it. I'll fix it like that. Okay. Listen, I always find ways to fix problems. That's a problem I wish I would have done a little bit different. So now here we go. We are going all the way around again. And I want you to get loose, loosey-goosey, loose, relax and get loose. All right. So there's the next one. All right, so I'm going to keep picking up paint. Watch me. I'm going to pick up just the white and work it in. Maybe some Juneberry. Work it in again. And then I keep picking up paint from that little cubby. Now, I divide the brush to pick up, but then I come over here and I lay it flat in there to do that. All right. So let's do 2 lines here. We're going to go up and over. And then we're going to come back again and make it short. See the U I make? But I'm making it short. I'm going to come closer so y'all can see it. I know I'm so blessed to have so many children and grands. 12 children. Your mother had 12 children and 54 grandchildren and 7 greats. I have, oh my gosh, I've got 4 great grandchildren right now, which I sometimes can't even believe that. All right, so look, I'm going to come right here and right here, but I start on that line and see, I do about 4 here. And I'm kind of loose on the outside petals. You could have 5 or 6. And right here, see, I just did 4. Now, see, I want you to see the direction that they're heading. This is going to make a round bouquet, and that's how this works, okay? So I have got 17 minutes here, and you're a twin. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine having, if I had twins along that way, I would have had a mini. Okay, so there we go. Now, those practice strokes really help you because you can sit and learn how to do this rose very easily. So I'm going to come here, and I think I might need a little bit more magenta because I've only been picking up Juneberry. And I'm going to work this in. Now, for some reason, I kind of feel like it's feeling not as smooth. I want it to feel like butter, okay? Hello, Miss Rita. All right. All right, so I'm going to dip into, I tried to read a little bit, guys, but I'm trying to teach. All right, so now look at this and see which way you think this ought to go. This keeps coming loose because I move it so much. Thank you for the thumbs up, guys. All right, so this way, and this way. All right, see, I'm pointing up. I'm pointing down to the corner. And this way would go up that way. So it makes sense. You don't want this one going that way and this one going that way. All right. And you wouldn't want this one going down and this one going the same way down. So does that make sense? All right. So, and when I do the chalk line, I don't necessarily want you to let the chalk show. You're going to just go slightly over that. Okay. Okay. So I just picked up a little bit more white. All right, so now I'm going to head over here. All right, those lines will help you sometime to see which direction. I'm adjusting with light, so I keep working, trying to get them better and better and not blurred out. It looks a little blurry. All right, so I'm going to come from this side, and then I'm going to flip from this side. And so I'm not doing this rose where you see the middle of the rose looking straight down. My roses are tilted. And so then there's an outside of row layer and then a second skirt right here. Now I can clean this up again because these petals might have messed it up a little bit. But now watch this. I lean the white on the brush and then I lift the pink. All right, I'm going to touch, lean the white, and lift the pink. And then watch this. I can lean it out, and stand up. And see how that gives you that extra little wave? Buy your brushes from other countries? I mean, do you have shipping for Turkey? Yes, we ship to every country that lets us ship. And we do the USPS, and we don't do the pricing. It happens by whatever your cost of your country is. So, but that's how we do it, the least expensive way. And we ship all over, even places where the paint company won't ship, we are able to ship to. All right, because we're a smaller company and we can do that. Okay, so now I'm going to wash that brush, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let's pick up some white and oh, you know what? Let's put some green in first. All right, does that sound okay? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down to a 16 flat, and I'm going to go over here and let's use some teal a little bit. So teal and citrus. So I'm going to pick up and I'm going to come here and I'm going to work it in. All right. And I go fast, remember, and then I pick up and then I just get the surface of the brush, but I'm going to pick up a little bit of thicket. See the thicket? These are all multi-surface. They have a sealer in them. It works wonderful. Now, Dixon, pick up some medium. All right. So there's a couple of flowers. Let's do some leaves first. So I'm going to come out here and I'm going to take a stem out like this. So I'm going to go up and back. I go back into my paint and flatten my brush and pick a little bit more. All of these are strokes you can learn on those practice strokes. So just go read what you want to learn and there it'll be. So see that? All right. I can bring a little bit of white into the citrus. Okay, so look at this. I can come right back over anything I want to change a little bit. And look at that. And then you pull the stem in the middle. Okay, so is that pretty? All right, so I like to, when you're looking at a bouquet that you want to paint, so here's one that I picked out. I'm going by a little bit of this bouquet. All right, but just because I want to see the colors I like and how, but I'm using roses, not what they use, but I'm just figuring out my way of let's putting some green in here. Oops, I put the brush down wrong. So all you do when you do that is you lay, the outside paint comes off, there's still paint in the middle, and you come back here and you get fresh paint. And then you go back here and just clean it back up. There we go. So because I'm on this darker gray background, is why I'm putting the light color on the outside. All right, so let's put, we're going to put a few of these leaves in here, and then maybe, you see that? I pushed down, and I just made one leaf, one stroke to make a leaf. So this is a different one than I do one stroke. Look, I push down full and then left to the chisel and pull a stem in. Oop, was I off? Let me try that again. I'm going to pull the chisel in the middle, and you still can't see it. There we go. All right, so let me show you that again. We're right here. I'm laying the brush down at an angle. This gives you the fullness. Then you stand up to the point, and then you pull a stem right into the middle. All right. So can you kind of see what's happening? Now I want to get this circle, and I will use different size brushes later. But right now, this 16 makes a really nice look. Work it in. I don't need medium right now because I have so much paint. Now look, I'm scrubbing it out. I'm trying to get close when we do this. I'm scrubbing this out to a point, laying it out the other way and come back. I'm going to add a few small ones in here. Okay, then I pull the stem into each one of those. So when you do this, guys, look, I touch, I lift the front and drag the back bristles. All right. So let's do one and come back, pull the stem in, and another one. And you don't wipe it off, you just re-stroke it with fresh paint. Okay, you can do 2 strokes. And then pull a stem if you're not comfortable with going up and back. All right, so let's come in here and do 1, 2, 3, and pull a stem. There we go. All right, so you see I kind of put a little bit all around. Over here we're needing a little something. Now do you see how you're building this? All right. The double loader, this double loader, it has a lid and a lid for here and a sponge on the top. This is separate, and then you can buy the caddy, which I had a caddy right here for my brushes, and you can have a palette, and this can sit inside the palette, or you can use a foam plate inside the palette. Okay, so it's 3 separate tools. Okay, so there we go. Now, if you want to do, let me wash this. I'm going to do a white flower. So there's a couple ways to do white. You can do a soft blue, or you can do coffee latte. I'm using up all my spaces. I might have to get a foam plate to work. Okay, so I can pick up coffee latte. And not that or you can use a gray, but not that I want this to be a tan flower. This is how I would do the white flower. But I want you to see that I have to come right here and lay this and see the water running out of it. I did not dry this brush well enough. And I could see that as I was loading, because we don't paint with water. Water makes mud. Okay, so if it looks muddy and not defined, it's because you have too much medium or too much water. All right, so let's come right here and let's just do an open rose. And this is wet on wet always, so I'm going to cover the leaf, but that's okay. Pick up more white. All right. Now I can also do a piece of one coming this way, which will just look like a side view. See, coming that way. All right, so let's do this one. I just keep picking up more paint. See, lots of paint. All right, so the tan coffee latte is just giving you a tinge of depth, so you don't have to shade it later. One stroke painting means you blend, shade, and highlight in each stroke. So now all I have to do is put a center in, and that's already got your depth in that, okay? So let's come right here. All right, we have been 28 minutes. Oh, and more of you like it. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. I just wanted a fun little lesson on how to create a bouquet, all right? And what goes first. So many people say, ma'am, please, can you paint a bouquet so we know how? Now out here, I can decide to do the back petals. See, I go right over my green leaf. So many newbies want to like, oh, see, like I covered that one. They're like, oh no, I'm going to cover that. It's a good thing. So look, if you come right here, now I'm going to do a front petal that covers the back petal. So it looks like a side view. All right. So anything that makes this look more natural is good. So see, those are pretty tan. So I want it more white. So I can just restroke on top of a few of those petals. All right, it's like this one. All right. So I could leave some that way. All right. Have you learned anything yet? That's what I like to know. That's what keeps me going. That I came on and you learned. And by the way, thank you guys for helping me hit 100,000 subscribers. That was wonderful. And I was flying high and so excited because so many of you have been watching and helped me build this. Okay, so let's put a little little bud right here. And I do these little daisy strokes coming back. Okay, so we only have a couple more places. So getting this one down here, don't you think it ought to be a side view? I think that would work. So we're going to come here. And you see, I put a lot of paints. And so I've had people say, how come you didn't use the yellow? And how come you didn't use this color? Sometimes I put it out because I might use it. And I'm just freehanding this. And so I'm not sure what I'm going to want as I'm building my flowers, right? So I like to show you how I do that too. All right. So if you look at this bouquet, all right, it needs something for a long canvas like this, which this is paper, but oops, I got blue in there. I don't want blue in that. I'm still doing my white. Okay, so we're going to come all the way around, make separate petals because you really see the separate ones when we're doing this. Okay, now those end up being really easy to make a center because we're going to take our scruffy. This is a medium scruffy. Thank you. From Brazil. I don't know if that's what you're saying, honey, but thank you. Design and directions of flowers. It helps you make pretty arrangements, all right? So, so then what I can do is I can either put green for the center or I can go for the yellows. So what if I do citrus? This is a dry brush. Do not wet it. If you wet it, you have to fluff it really good and try to get it dry again. I can then come in and put a little teeny bit of teal on the little tip. All right. So look what's going to happen. I'm going to keep the teal down and I'm going to twist the brush a little bit back and forth and see the teal being down gives you some depth. Okay. Oh, thank you for the prayers and thank you for the nice comments. You guys are great. Okay. Now, I want you to take and paint cards. Let me tell you, one of the fun things to do is for over 5 years, I painted every card to 29 grandbabies and all my friends' birthdays and all my family's birthdays. We have a lot of children and their spouses, so it really added up. Now, see what happens here? Those, let me straighten this up. Those green popped out in here, pulled in the leaves. See how nice that goes? Now, the half ones I'm not worried about. You can also do more detail. Like one thing I want to show you. Let's get a little liner. Is that a little liner? Okay, you can come around and pick up some yellow and just tap all the way around little teeny dots. Or I can just tap around the top. Okay, I know you can't see. I got to get here. So I could pick thick paint up and tap. My little finger's tapping. Of course, you don't want it on wet flowers. See, little detail on there. And you would do that to each one of them. And I'm not going to do all of those right now because I want to show you what I would do next. All right. So I want you to see that we can take something really pretty, like we can take this scruffy again. Let's get the small 1/4 inch little baby. What did I say before? I think that was a 1/2 inch, that one. And this is a 1/4 inch. I always said the small, medium, and large, so I'm bad. Now I have bad habits. All right, so I'm going to pounce you fluff these scruffies when you get them in the package because they're flat. And look, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to get a purplish lavender color. This is dioxazine purple and worker white. Okay, so now look, this is quick and easy. All right, so that's a little too soft. So I'm just coming right over some of the flowers. I need a little bit more white. Okay, there you go. All you have to do, honey, is go back and rewatch if you just came on. All right, a little bit in here. Just remember, this is on. It's going to be posted right away, and then you guys can watch from the beginning if you just found me, or you can come back another time and watch it. All right, I'm coming in all these spaces. And see, I'm getting muddy right here. That's getting muddy. So then I picked up more white and then repounce a little bit. Right in here on top of these, I'm going to show you a little leaf that I put there, like a calyx. All right, around here. This is a little surprise for the holidays from Donna. Just going to give you a little bit of fun to work on, especially if you're closed in with snow, or if you're closed in because your state's not letting you out. All right. And by the way, if you're watching this years from now, this was COVID time here in the U.S. and around the world. All right. So now, look. See, I'm getting my bouquet. Now, I can pull this up and look from a distance and see that it looks like it needs something right here. Okay, but can you see your triangles of design? All right, so there's two brushes I like to use. Either let's get a smaller, you can use a 6. This is a 6. We'll use a 6. All right, there's a couple of things I'd like to do. I can take and bring another color into the mix by picking up some teal and white and my double loader. The double loader helps control you so you don't make a mess, a muddy mess. You split the brush to load it, you work it in over there, and then you paint from here, okay? And so I'm going to come right in here and put some of these, let me show you, right in here, little leaves. And you can put an aqua leaf here and there. Okay, and I'm only doing 2. I need to probably do more than 2. 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4. All right, so I put a teeny bit of white in there. I think y'all saw me do that. And sometimes I make these transparent floating with floating medium, but I wanted to mix this with white and teal to give you a few more colors in here instead of floating. All right, so remember, I've got to go dot all those centers if I want to give detail, because sometimes I love for the first thing you to see is the centers. When people go, oh my gosh, look at those centers, that's a good thing. So even if you don't have a perfect petal, guess what they're looking at? They're looking at the center. So there's something there that they love that you did. Okay, so real quick, I wanted to finish this up and tell you, I'm sorry I didn't get to read everything. Oh, I'm sorry. She's saying her resolution is fuzzy. Hopefully you can watch this later and it will be good. All right, there we go. And I'm going to sign it. See, so that flower coming down ended up working good for me. Okay, so see, got a nice, then you sit back and look at it and say, what am I missing? So when I'm looking at this, this is what I see. I've got a nice bow here, and this looks straight. Can y'all see the straightness? Look right there. This looks straight over here, and this looks fluffy and nice. So that's okay. But what to do that over there, I can't keep putting the teal because I don't think that's going to do it. So I'm going to go back and load my 12 even with the colors, the greens, and I can come right in here and add 1, 2. Did that help? Let's see. It needs a little bit more. Okay, and a little bit here. Okay, does that look better? It took my eyes away from a straight line. That's what's important, right? So you finish your little dots and you sign it, and it's just a fun little rose bouquet, an open rose or a complete cabbage rose. So have fun. Share on my Donna Dewberry's, the Donna Dewberry's official One Stroke group on Facebook, and we share our paintings and our practices, and you get all kinds of inspiration. Thank you so much for the likes, and thank you so much for joining me for this morning. I'm going to make y'all sick moving that around. All right, have a good one. I'm going to finish this up with some pretty bright dots around to just make it bright, 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 bright. And see how that lively, and you can do, instead of those kind of dots, you can do white dots. You can have fun. You can make a cluster of these, anything to just add the extra detail, right? So let's come in here, and I'm going to surprise y'all again because it's the holiday. So you be watching, subscribe so you know when I'm next. All right. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.